Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. When the Fool Gets Old, an analysis of Miss Wanda and Miss Bettie of Love and Marriage Huntsville, or Love and Marriage Hip Hop, one of them. Quick question. Does anyone else see the LAMH letters and think Love and Marriage Hip Hop, or is it just me? Full disclosure, I have always been taught to respect my elders. My grandmothers were lovely, proud women who embodied class and dignity. Now, don't get me wrong, they were also quick-witted Southern women, so could tell you off with a smile on their faces, and it'd be so buttery smooth that you wouldn't even realize you'd been insulted. But even then, it was done with the polish and refinement of people who'd been raised right, as most of our elders have, and as we'd expect of the wise and seasoned elders of yesteryear. The elders from back in the day made it easy to understand why elders should be respected and revered. But these elders today are different. They missed a step. They are silly and childish and at times trashy. They seem older in age only, having not gained an ounce of wisdom in all their years of living. They hang out with women half their age, then act half the age of the women they hang out with. They keep up mess and confusion, like they're looking to relive their youthful hood rat antics. They lack pride and have no shame in showing the whole world what an old idiot looks like. Miss Wanda is one such example. She is what I call an old fool. She is proof that idiots don't just die off, but get older like the rest of us. I have said this before, but she is the reason Letitia is as messed up as she is, and also as broken and lost as she is. Could you imagine Miss Wanda being the person that's supposed to lead you into womanhood? The person that's supposed to teach you anything at all, let alone how to be a mature, responsible, self-confident adult? Letitia is exactly the kind of adult one would expect to come from someone like Miss Wanda. A sketchy, ignorant, confused, easily manipulated and controlled woman who does what she's told and never thinks more than what she's allowed to. Again, Letitia is exactly the kind of broken, half-assembled woman one would expect would come out of a childhood spent with Miss Wanda. And Miss Bettie is no better. Well, maybe slightly better, but still also a woman I would consider an old fool. For one, why are these elderly women content to hang out with their daughters as friends? Don't they have other things to do? Other women their age to hang out with? In my opinion, this speaks to their level of intellect and the fact that their development has been arrested. Arrested development is defined as an abnormal state in which development has stopped prematurely. It can result from things like defective genes or developmental deficiencies. If that doesn't describe these two women, then I don't know what does. A woman in her 60s should have very little to talk about with a woman in her 30s or 40s, beyond saying hello, making small talk if they're at an event, or bestowing wisdom on her. She certainly shouldn't be the daughter's plus one at a party or gathering, and front and center in any mess and chaos. But that's what these women are about. Miss Wanda is the kind of older woman that you can tell was what Southerners would call, simple young woman. She was a young idiot who is now an old idiot, or like I like to call them, an old fool. And Miss Bettie looks and acts like she was born mean. I don't know who did what to her, but her face seems etched in hate and ill will. If she were walking on the same side of the street as me, I'd rebuke her on sight. She has the energy of an old witch, like she runs around her backyard in the middle of the night, in an old lacy bra, putting spells on the neighbors as kids because their mid-afternoon laughter grates on her nerves. How are women like this supposed to be respected? We are all taught to respect our elders. But how can we do that when they act like kids with no home training? When an adult sees a kid with no home training, the instinct is to provide instruction, to show them how to do and be better. But with these grown-up women, the instinct is shock and bewilderment, and repulsion and embarrassment. If their daughters weren't such terrible people, one would feel sorry for them. But Stormy is such a mean-spirited, egotistical, ghetto, not used to having anything, wretched woman that it's hard to give her the sympathy that having a mother like Betty should elicit. I don't believe Letitia nor Stormy would be as messed up as they are if they didn't have the mothers they have. Like Letitia and Stormy, we are all products of our environment. Where we come from, our parents, our community, even our city, all influence who we become. So, to be raised by an old fool, who clearly at one point was also a young fool, likely means lots of foolishness in and around the lives of their children, who now, as grown women, act like how they were likely raised to act. Foolishness, mess, chaos, confusion, and drama is likely what these women were raised around, and is exactly what each of these women, both the moms and the daughters, bring around every time they are in a scene. A few weeks ago, I gave Miss Wanda props because she had spoken up about Martell's gutter rat discussing Melody's personal family history and information. This did not mean I was unaware of who Miss Wanda is, or how she operates, or the fact that she is among the group of people that have emboldened Martell's gutter rat to be as reckless at the mouth as she is. But it was still the right thing to do. So I said as much. I don't hold out any hope that these women will continue doing the right thing, or ever even do the right thing again, because they are women of a certain age, and typically, when a person gets to such a grown age as they are fully cooked. They are not open to learning new and better ways of doing things. They are not open to learning new and better ways of being. In other words, these women are likely too old to learn new tricks. And since their behavior is rewarded with increased exposure on TV, on a national platform, I guess we're all stuck with them. That is, those of us who stick around to watch the crockpot of BS that is the LAMH show. Where I am from, it is almost blasphemy to disrespect an elder. But these women make you feel different. Miss Bettie, with her unfortunate face, set in that permanent scowl, and Miss Wanda, who acts like she shouldn't even be allowed to cross the street without adult supervision, are a different breed. I would have had to walk out of the room, finger up in the air, Baptist church style, to keep from telling that mushroom-faced old bat Miss Bettie where she could go, and how fast she could go there. And I would have then had to exit stage left from any scene having to do with Miss Wanda, if she'd even double blinked at one of my children, let alone insulted everything from their hair on down to their paternity. But that's because I was raised a certain way. And in order to keep myself from having inmate numbers, I would have to stay very far away from these types of women, my elder or not. In my opinion, what these women need instead of a national platform is a quiet Wednesday night Bible study, so they can go somewhere and gather some sense. All right, y'all, that's it, and that's all. Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. If you don't, or if you believe in groupthink, or bullying others into believing the popular opinion, then this isn't the place for you. So go ahead and just cancel me now. On this channel, we don't discuss my truth or your truth. We discuss the truth, and no topic is off limits. So, log in, like, subscribe, get comfy, and comment. It's nice to have you here. So let's talk.